All right, here we go. Good morning. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. It is Weddington here on this October the 15th. We're midway through October, and we've got a lot to talk about here. We're going to be timing out, getting a little more fine-tuned timing with our weekend rain chances. But for now, we just have phenomenal weather. As you can see as well in the bottom of the screen there, if you have any questions for Brad, it's Wednesdays with Weddington. Always fun to have a conversation with Brad, the builder of Weddington Custom Homes. And you can go to weddingtoncustomhomes.com for more information about what he has to offer. A great custom home builder here in Southern Indiana. But if you have any questions for anything around the home, again, from roof to the basement to the walls, outside to the yard, let us know in the comments below. And we will ask Brad coming up here in about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll be live with Brad here in just a second. We are also going to take a live look outside at the beautiful blue skies all throughout the area. It is just gorgeous throughout all of Kentucky and Southern Indiana and Kentucky. Once again, day after day after day, I think this is day 8 of what we call severe clear. Sometimes pilots call it that, where we have unlimited visibility across the area. And we can take another look at this with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Again, not a cloud in the sky. I think later today we'll probably see some high clouds from a moisture-starved front that'll be moving into southern Indiana, but we'll get no rain from that. We'll be dry, it looks like, through Saturday afternoon. I've we're going to, again, update the timing of the rain this weekend. If you remember, if you've been watching the last couple of days, the GFS was a little sooner coming in like Saturday afternoon. The Euro was later, late Saturday night. It looks like they're kind of more agreeing with the European weather model for Saturday night time frame. So we're going to be covering that in more detail. We'll look at some cooler conditions down the road as well, as we should see some cooler conditions this time of the year, but we'll stay above normal for now. We've got Beverly Haggis popping in the comments here with a good morning from Borden, Indiana. And how about Orlean? Everybody give it up to Orlean Whitlow. She's usually number 2 in the comments. Happy birthday to Orlean. A beautiful day for a birthday. So give her a shout out there in the comments. Teresa Logston, good morning to you as well. So let's, again, we'll get to your forecast here as we just took a live look outside. Temperatures, again, this morning, we're kind of on a Groundhog Day, repeatable weather, 50s in the morning, nice and mild in the afternoon, and just gorgeous conditions all across the region. There he is, Brad Weddington. We'll be talking to him in just a second. Again, if you have any questions, let them know. Here's the forecast details, the weather headlines. We have 70s in sunshine here through Friday, 80s on Saturday. I think we'll stay dry through Saturday afternoon. Then the rain and the thunderstorm activity moving in late Saturday night, and some showers continue and some cooler conditions behind that front moving in for Sunday. So our play ball forecast here for today is 72 degrees at noon, 76 this afternoon. And then once that sun angle lowers, as we get towards sunset and later, we'll drop into the 60s in a northeast wind at around 5 to 10. So maybe just keeping that light jacket around when, after the afternoon, evening time, morning time, kind of when you might want that jacket. And taking a different look here really quickly as well as I remove this, add this, and we'll get back to some comments here in just a second as well. Head over to extolmag.com/weather whenever you want. If you want to be your own meteorologist, I just posted the brand new 7-day forecast. There's the interactive radar, current temperatures showing 58. Of course, that'll be rising. No severe weather outlook for us for day 2 and day 1 and day 2. Tomorrow is the release of the updated the drought monitor, the drought outlook. Closest showers as we look at the interactive radar here. I'll plot out the temperatures too in the 50s and 60s up in Ohio, far northern Indiana, a couple sprinkles, and some showers over in Iowa and Nebraska and Kansas. That is about it. Once again, very quiet for us. Christian Walker, pop it in the comments. He's got the countdown going. 71 days until Christmas, 78 until New Year's, I believe. And Christian came home from Traverse City, Michigan. Beautiful town up there in northern Michigan. Hope you had a good time there. His school is on fall break now until October 21st. Very nice. Beverly giving Orlean a happy birthday here. There's not much happening with the hurricanes, Christian, but we can take a look here in just a second. Actually, we'll just get it out of the way right now. There's the lone Lorenzo. It is a tropical storm way out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so nothing big happening with that. Your fall foliage map, if you want to go to explorefall.com, it's got parts of our area just in low color or maybe a little bit of moderate color, but not near the peak just yet. That's typically very late October and into early November time. I want to give a shout out to our partners. We've got Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. You get free estimates here online at lionsroofingco.com. They get you covered on both sides of the river, by the way, all throughout Metro Louisville, 812-294-3595. You go to the careers section. We've got a roofing repair technician opening there. If you want to apply for that, you know somebody that wants an opportunity, a friend, family member, maybe you. Or you can also head to libspaving.com. They've got still some opportunities here, too, where you can apply online there. Thankfully, they've had some great weather to work on the roofs there with Lions Roofing and great weather to keep working on the asphalt and the pavement across the area. If you want to level up your opportunities here, they will meet you where you are at. You belong here. Ivy Tech Community College. Click on locations, head to Sellersburg, and you're going to learn all about what they have to offer there, which is a lot. They're powering the workforce here in Southern Indiana and beyond. And you can see all the different programs they have to offer. You can sign up for Tuesdays at the Tech to get that one-on-one information. You can click right there and see this beautiful video that they have produced there. There's the Slisher Quad, and that campus right there nestled at Highway 311, I-65, 9 miles north of Louisville. So a lot to offer there. They've got a big trunk or treat fest coming up October 30th. We'll be talking a bit more about that throughout the month. And playing golf with this guy right here later on this afternoon. This is Michael Long, my insurance agent. So he can help you out, car, home, and a lot of different things you might want covered with your insurance. They've had the auto renewal reductions. I saw that reflected on my bill. You might want to get a quote. If you do, tell them I sent you. 812-578-3072. Go to amfam.com and just search Michael Long, and that'll take you right to his page right there. Again, a beautiful start to this Wednesday. Again, a thank you to all of our partners out there that allow us to do what we do right here on Ben at 10 and Extol Media and Extol Weather. If you want to reach out to me and learn how to join us with your marketing or advertising, you want to see your logo on our products, we've reached 1.5 million on my page alone over the last 28 days. We've got a bigger reach than that, though, with all of the Extol Media products and social media platforms out there. So if you want to learn more, Ben at extolmag.com and Jason at extolmag.com. All right, we're rolling into that forecast here this morning. We've got a good morning. Again, there's Brad Weddington. We're going to be talking to him in just a few minutes. And you can ask him any questions about anything around the home. Dennis Gregory with a good morning from Bedford, Indiana. And Jeanette Pierce, good morning from Litchfield, Kentucky. Have a wonderful day. And Christian asking, is it going to rain this weekend? It will rain this weekend, Christian, and we're going to be talking all about that as we get into the weather models. And we'll look at it a little bit here in the forecast as well. We got Big Happy with a cheers on this happy hump day, October the 15th. All right, here, let's bring it up. Here's the forecast. We've got your weather jokes, your weather history, your forecast, and more here coming up. 70s and sunshine through Friday, 80s on Saturday, rain and storms Saturday night, possibly after midnight, and the showers linger and much cooler with maybe low mid 60s on Sunday. So the forecast here, 76. We're just rolling along the same weather we've had all week long. Our countdown here, average highs in the 60s in 4 days, time change in 18 days, average first flurries in about a month, and Thanksgiving in 43 days. Some interesting weather history here for you. In 1608, we're going way back in the day, I'm going to mess this up. Evangelista Torricelli, inventor of the barometer, was born. So the barometer measures air pressure. Air pressure, very important. We've had high pressure. It's been giving us beautiful weather. We'll have low pressure Saturday night. That brings us the rain. 1880, a violent early season blizzard devastated Minnesota in the Dakotas. 70-mile-per-hour winds, drifts of 10 to 15-foot high snowfall drifts in northwestern Iowa and southeastern South Dakota. And then in Minnesota, there's a report of a 20-foot tall snowdrift in October. That is insane. 1954, Hurricane Hazel was horrible. It made landfall in the Carolinas, Category 4, crossed Hispaniola. The storm killed about 1,000 people and destroyed much of Haiti's agriculture. The effects, which lasted several years. In the U.S., 95 people were killed. The landfall happened to coincide with the highest lunar tide of the year, resulting in an 18-foot storm surge. And as the storm moved north, it joined forces with a cold front, retained amazing amount of strength, giving New York City and Washington, D.C. their fastest wind gusts on record of 113 miles per hour and 98 miles per hour, respectively, even though the storm was well inland. And then it went into Canada and Toronto and killed another 81 people there. Crazy. In 1954, Indianapolis had a record snowfall for today's date at a trace, some flurries. And so it can snow this time of the year. 1984, heavy snow fell on the Monday night football game in Denver, 6 inches there. The Broncos beat the Packers 17-4. Here's your weather jokes. I made these all up myself, so that means they're extra stupid today. What did the tree say to the leaf in the fall? Don't leave me. These are all as the worst puns you can imagine right here. I see Brad covering up his face. He's going to be embarrassed to be on the show today. All right. Why did the pumpkin do so bad on tests in the fall? It was autumn. Autumn. All right. If you have to explain them, there might not be the best jokes, but here we go. They're free, and you got a bonus fourth joke. Why did the leaves want to decompose? They didn't want to leave any evidence. Why? What did the tree say to the leaves in autumn? Leave me alone. All right. Very autumn related, leaf related. Maybe not my best. Maybe a 4 out of 10. We're moving on. Here's your forecast today, Wednesday, October the 15th, 76 degrees for that high temperature today. Sunny and mild, so just keep enjoying it. Northeast wind at around 5 to 10. Our sunset at 7:04. Our low tonight at 51 degrees, mostly clear and cool. And we've been keeping the windows open at nighttime and just listening to the bugs singing us to sleep. Our forecast tomorrow, sunshine, 50s in the morning, 60s at noon, 71 for that afternoon high tomorrow. So a touch cooler. Again, we've got a weak dry front moving in for this later this afternoon, maybe just a few little clouds with that. Christian was asking about the percentage of rain. It'll be about 100% chance of rain late Saturday night. And again, we'll get to the models for you, Christian, here in just a second. Your 7-day forecast, 71 tomorrow, down to 47 Thursday night. So a little bit of an extra chill, a little extra nip in the air Friday morning, 75 Friday afternoon. Most of our Saturday is now looking dry. The timing looks like Saturday night, late night into Sunday morning with most of that rain happening. Could see around a half inch to an inch of rainfall. And again, we'll map it all out here in just a moment. And then cooler as we head into next week, only 65 the high Sunday, 44 on the low for Sunday night, and then 60s on Monday. Looking pretty good and really just where temperature should be for this time of the year as we head into early next week. And I am going to bring up, it is time for Wednesdays with Weddington right here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Benjamin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and another nice morning for Wednesdays at Weddington in your backyard.
But of course.
100% chance of a good morning when Brad's on the show. We've seen it every time after time. So I'm going to start off with being a little bit jealous here because you had a nice trip out west with your boys here. And again, we'll get to some things around the home here in just a second. But tell us about what you did last week.
Oh, so we went out to, I've got some land out in Wyoming, and my brother and my dad had neither one seen them, or seen the land. So I took them out there, and those two pictures right there are from the national forest that's right behind our property. It's called Medicine Bow National. And
wow,
to see the elk in the field was unbelievable. So we had to stop on the side of the road, obviously, and take some pictures of that. And then the fall foliage, back to what you were showing earlier, it was peak there. So if you see all the aspen trees were changing.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about fall foliage. So yeah, it's happening up northwest.
Yep. And then that is on our way to Glenwood Springs, Colorado, which is about a 3-hour drive from the property. So
beautiful, dude. There's some trout fishing. I think it's elk season maybe right now. I've heard some folks going out there.
In certain parts of the state, it is. I kind of wanted to be in an area where it wasn't because I didn't want to disturb the hunters.
Right.
So
it's very, very, that's awesome. Good for you getting out there. And starting off back into the home building business. Also, by the way, if you're watching here, if you have any questions for Brad for Around the Home, drop them in the comments and we'll get to those for Brad. And you can always go to WeddingtonCustomHomes.com to learn more information about what Brad has to offer here. He's local custom home builder here in Southern Indiana, based out of Henryville, and that's his backyard there. But this was something new to me that you showed me, and I thought it was really a really cool thing, especially if you're a person of faith. Uh, I so when did this trend begin of homeowners, wanting people to just write words on their 2x4s here?
That's a very, very old thing to do, but I would say in the past probably 8 to 10 years, I'm starting to see more and more of it. Um,
Okay.
and I'd say probably 50% of my homeowners will put scripture in their home. This particular homeowner right here left a marker and said, put whatever scripture you want to put on the walls. It's pretty neat. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so that we see, for every house is built by someone, but the builder of all things is God. Hebrews 3:4. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Ephesians 5:25. So yeah, I just thought that was a really cool thing. So then you cover it up with the drywall, and it's just there.
Yeah, we're doing that today. Actually, we're covering everything up with drywall. So, um, but the word is in there, so that's what's important to the homeowners, and it's just a very unique thing, and I enjoy building for people like that. So it's definitely unique.
An extra foundation. There you go.
Yep.
All right, and so the house. I don't know if this is the house you're talking about, but I just thought this was a very unique home because we talked about the craftsman style homes, and then there's kind of modern farmhouse going on, and then this is just more of a modern look. So tell us what you got going on here.
Yep, that's definitely more of a modern look. So we're actually looking at the back side of the home there. So the front, it's very unassuming because that high roof that you're seeing there, once you get to the front, it's standard height. So it just looks like
Hmm.
kind of a lot of roof. And then you go to the back side of that house and it's like, wow. So you've got the big grouping of windows on the right hand side there above that garage in the basement. That's the master, so they're going to have a view straight out the back. And then the other big grouping of windows is the great room, so we got a view out the rear. And then the covered covered porch is right off the back of the kitchen. So basically the rooms that you really want to have emphasis on views are all
Mm-hmm.
across the back of that home, and they've got a really neat view. That's up in Corden. Um, we hit a tremendous amount of rock when we were digging that basement, and we kind of knew that was going to happen with what we had. As far as we had a lot of cedar trees growing, and a lot of times when you see cedars, that's indicative of a high rock level. But instead of having to haul those boulders away, the homeowner really thought it looked unique. So next time I go out there, I'll get a picture. We actually stacked a lot of the boulders that we dug out of that basement
Oh, nice.
down the side of the home, and made like a retaining wall out of the stone we pulled out of the hole. It,
Repurpose it. Yep.
yeah, it's really unique because a lot of people will even pay for big boulders like that for retaining walls. Well, we were actually able to make them from digging the basement. So uh,
Love it.
one of those
So
lemonade out of lemon type things.
there you go. So when you have a unique design like this, obviously, I think the decision is going to be up to the homeowner how their home is going to look. So how involved do you get into their design, or do you leave that up to them and like the architect or the designer when it comes to preparing a home like this?
It depends on what stage I get involved in. Some homeowners will already have plans. Some homeowners will have just an idea in their head. That's the case on that one. So they had an idea of what they wanted. And before we ever even started the home, while they were going through the drafting process, I said, let me know, give me a few days heads up, and I'll see if I can make it there with you, with the draftsman, because I speak the same language as them, obviously. And that's what happened there. They got an appointment with the draftsman. I sat down with them, and some of the things they wanted to do, I said, you might want to, rethink that. And then other things,
Mhm.
I said, hey, that's a great idea. And we were able to make this plan work, and they're tickled. So that house is drywalled, and actually we start trimming that house on Monday. So we're probably about a month and a half to 2 months from completion on that one. And I'm real excited to see the way that one turns out.
Right before winter. Good timing there. Yeah. And so before even the designs are made, say, yeah, they're looking at this property and they like a property. How much would you go out with the realtor or with them to like scope out the property? Would you leave that up to them and the realtor, or would you join them out there to look at it?
Once again, it comes down to timing. I prefer, you know, sometimes you'll have homeowners that have the land, have the plans, have finance, and everything's lined out.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people will come to me when all they have is the idea of what they want to do. And I'll tell them at that stage, hey, if you're searching for land and you find a couple, 2 or 3 parcels, once again, let me know. I'll go with them. I'll walk the property with them. I'll see where they're wanting to build the home to see if that property will work for what their vision is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not, it's not 100% sales mode. I'll tell them, hey, this one works better. Property A works better than property B. I've got that situation actually right now. One of the larger homes that we're building in Floyd's Knobs, the homeowner had looked at 2 different parcels, and one parcel was just wasn't good. It wasn't good. It
Mm-hmm.
was, and it was quite a bit cheaper. So obviously that drew the homeowner to him. And I said, listen, there's a reason this one's cheaper. We're going to have to bring in dirt. We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do that. And by the time we do all of that, you've in essence spent as much on this project as you would if you bought the piece of property that you actually like. Um,
Right.
so there's pros and cons to every property, and there's budgets for every person. So if that budget wouldn't have worked, I'd have said, hey, we really need to look elsewhere. But with them, I said, hey, this property, even though I think that property was 30,000 more than the other, I said, this is going to work way better for your budget and for your end result than the property that's a little bit cheaper. So
And when you advise people, in those beginning stages, this is before you even pick up a dollar. I mean,
oh, I
you're
know.
helping out.
Yeah. What's funny, I signed a contract on a home last night, and I looked back to our first point of contact, and it was September of 2023. So
It
that's
could
two
take some time.
years before, and even now, it's still, we signed a contract, but we won't start construction on that home until probably, hopefully December. If not December, it might be February. Um, and that's when the draws first start coming in. So it's a long, it can be a very long sales cycle. It can be as short as, they've got everything together and they're ready to go. So it varies from homeowner to homeowner. That's why it's custom homes.
It proves to the point too that you're not pushing these people. I mean, however long it takes, it takes. So
That's one of the hardest parts for what I do, is to tell
yeah.
people, no, I can't start yet.
Oh, I bet. I mean, everybody's eager with it's fun to see a home go up. So you want to see it. All right. Good information there. Let's move on to a topic that I wanted to cover here because my mom actually dealt with this fairly recently. So this was in March when this big pine tree landed on her roof and then cut holes in the roof and had to have Performance come out and do some fixing up. Lions Roofing came out and repaired the roof. So what do you advise on these properties that you're looking at? How many trees to take down? How far away to take them down? The homeowner loves this huge oak tree that's 10 feet from their back window. I feel, I mean, I even had to make those decisions. I kept some trees right around our house, and a couple of them have fallen down since then. So, what risk reward do you offer those homeowners when you're looking at properties like that?
Well, the good thing on that house is the house didn't knock down.
Well, yeah, and everybody was safe.
It's a big tree. When we are clearing property for a home, um, what I like to do is, obviously I clear a swath around the home, and then if there's any trees that look like they're leaning towards the house,
Mm-hmm.
even if they're far away, I'll try to get them to take those trees out. Because the problem you'll have is if you've got a tree within 20-30 feet of the home, as we're doing excavation, as we're backfilling in rough grade, finish grade, we're tracking the dirt around that. And a lot of times what that will do is that'll that'll compress the soil and it'll damage the root system of the tree.
Yeah.
So even though it looks great when we leave, that tree is going to die within a couple years, more than likely. So you're gonna deal with something that is potentially a danger. So if the tree looks like if it's going to fall away from the home, I'll let the homeowner make that judgment call on it. But if something looks like it's going to cause peril to the home in any way, shape, or form, I definitely suggest that we remove those. Because if you see where that tree fell, there's another double tree. That double tree looks like it's leaning away from the home.
Yeah. Yeah, she just had a tree service come out and remove a couple more just to, ease the mind kind of thing. So I've got extra firewood for next year, so that's a good thing.
Tremendous amount right there.
But Brad, thanks again. Do you have anything else you want to add that we're missing out on here on this edition of Wednesdays with Weddington?
Just keep your windows shut, keep your doors shut as tight as you can, because the stink bugs and the I think they're Asian ladybugs are starting to come in.
Yeah, I know that we've had a ton of the stink bugs, and then the Asian ladybugs are typically, I've seen, like after the first, like you get down to almost a frost Halloween time, usually they come out in full force. So yeah, we're cleaning the windows and they're all trying to come in. So good times with the bugs. But thanks again for all the awesome information, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for another edition of Wednesdays with Weddington.
Sounds good. See you, Ben.
All right, see you, buddy. All right, that is Brad Weddington right there, and always fun to talk to Brad. And even if you have any questions afterward, you think of something that we didn't talk about, feel free to drop them in the comments. You can also email Brad anytime you want. If you are interested in looking at a property or building your own custom home, go to weddingtoncustomhomes.com, and that is where you can find some more information on how to reach out to Brad. Always a fun conversation there. So we'll take another live look outside and a quick look at that forecast too. Thanks for staying with us here. We're up to 10:27 on our Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, October the 15th. Here we go with more sunshine and 70s for the rest of our work week. Saturday looking drier as we're timing out this front. That looks like it'll come in Saturday night into Sunday with some showers. So it looks like Saturday is going to be the better outdoor day than Sunday. And behind that front, cooling down in the 60s. And then, just nice and mild where temperature should be in the upper 60s, low 70s as we head into our next work week. So all in all, not too shabby there. It's 10:28, so we're going to start to take another quick look outside, and then we will start to look at the weather models here for you. So this is a live look at nothing but clear skies once again around the region, with just beautiful blue conditions. There's actually a front that'll move in. It's a very weak and dry front that'll move in today, and maybe we'll see some high clouds over southern Indiana. But other than that, the only change for us with this front is going to be we fall down to the low 70s instead of the mid 70s for tomorrow. We're not going to get a strong front until Saturday night. So with that said, we'll start to bring up the weather model map. Speaking of those clouds I was talking about, here you can see on the radar and satellite some of those clouds over central Indiana. So Christian Walker, who's a familiar viewer here, is probably seeing some of those clouds in Carmel, Indiana. You can see them just off to the north right now. So we'll likely have a little bit layer of some high clouds moving in. Orlean saying, thank you, Ben, for the birthday wishes. Yeah, keep them coming in for Orlean. It is her birthday today. We got a good morning from Marilyn Stewart as well from Dudleytown. Thanks for watching. And so, again, on the radar and satellite, seeing this dry front to our north is not going to bother us whatsoever, as high pressure will continue to win out for our area. All right, let's go ahead and bring up that weather model data. And I'm going to start off with a look at the GFS weather model. Again, there's really no reason to look at the short-term weather models, what we call those high-resolution weather models. They only go out about 48 hours, and there's just nothing to see over the next 48 hours. So we'll just jump ahead to Saturday. Again, with the GFS, we'll go to reflectivity. We're going to push this ahead too. So Saturday the 18th, and it looks like things are slowing down a bit. And the GFS is starting to go along with the European weather model, which it has been later. We got Perry Porter popping in the comments. Good morning. When I was leaving, I had to get inside the truck and turn on the defrost. And then I forgot the air was on and couldn't see. So I had to pull off until it was clear. I was telling my son Brady that too. Like, just wait until the windows are clear, because he's a new driver. He's 16 years old, because you don't need to rush off to school when you can't see out the windows. So a good reminder there to make sure those windows are clear in the morning time before you rush off to work or school. All right, back to the models here. So this is Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Storms are out to the west. Here's 11 o'clock in the morning. Here's 2 p.m. So again, it looks like if you have some outdoor plans this weekend, Saturday, we're in pretty good shape. As the front approaches, we'll likely start to get a pretty good breeze coming in from the south. That will likely warm us up into the 80s. And stick around here, Christian. We're looking at the models right now for you for that percent chance. So this is Saturday at 5 p.m. Still pretty dry across the area, it's looking like. This is at 8 p.m. Storms holding off to the west. And the good part about this is the longer they hold out to the west, they lose their energy as they move into our area. So I doubt we'll have severe weather with this. Probably some gusty winds, some lightning and thunder, and some brief heavy rainfall. But I think the severe weather chances are going to be greater out west where there's more energy. So if you see some crazy maps and some things that are scaring you online on social media, check in with me. Feel free to drop me a message, because a lot of that is just clickbait, trying to get the views. That is not something that I'm going to do here. I don't see really a severe weather threat with this. Might be a couple strong thunderstorms that try to hold together into the late night hours. But there you can see this is 11 p.m. and the storm's still out to the west. And then we go to 2 o'clock in the morning. So if this is an overnight thing, again, some rumbles of thunder might wake us up, some brief gusty winds, but overall low severe weather threat as this cruises on through. This is at 5 a.m. So it might be kind of an overnight thing with the storms. But then notice, and by the way, I'll go back here for Christian. There you can see those storms late night for you as well at 2 a.m. So it would be about 100% chance of rain late Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then Sunday morning, we're going to wrap around on the backside of this system. Some spotty showers should be on the light side, but we're also bringing in some cooler conditions as well. And it looks like it is probably just going to be a gloomy Sunday here for us. There, Christian, on Sunday, you can see some more rain for you. Now into our Sunday afternoon, this is around 2 p.m. Still a chance for maybe some sprinkly activity. I want to bring on the temperatures here, because we're going to have maybe almost a 20-degree drop in temperatures from Saturday afternoon to Sunday afternoon. This here is at 5 p.m. Sunday. I don't know if it's going to be that cool. That's crazy. I don't think it's going to be quite that cool, but it's showing definitely a cool shot of air dropping in. This is at 2 p.m., showing some 50s and 60s. So definitely kind of a shot, just a big dynamic weekend with the contrast of 80s Saturday to maybe 50s and 60s on Sunday. So there you go. Our football Sunday looking cool. This is at 8 p.m. on Sunday, showing some of these chilly temperatures. And then we'll go to Monday morning. And there you can see the chill. The Canadian chill has taken over much of the United States. But it's not polar air. I don't think things are going to get frosty with this. But we'll be down to the 40s, it looks like, as we zoom back in here. This is heading out the door for our Monday morning, wanting that warmer jacket. There, as you can see, I've got a low Monday morning at around 44. Sometimes these raw maps are a little bit cooler than what actually happened. But there you go. And a lot of times, especially like Lanesville, there are some cool areas, some valley areas that are just ice boxes compared to other areas that can be 10 to 15 degrees cooler than what you see if we had a thermometer in New Albany or Louisville. You get outside the city in those low-lying areas, there are some pockets that do overachieve on the chilly side sometimes. But that's our Monday morning, starting off a little bit chilly. JK is with a good morning. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you dropping in the comments. And as we go into our Monday afternoon, I think we're going to see some temperatures here in the 60s. And by that time, we are our average highs are in the upper 60s. So that's not too far from normal for this time of the year. All right, backing up our view a little bit more here, kind of a roller coaster weather pattern as I've talked about. Let's see if we can see that with the 500 millibar wind. This is the wind up at about 18,000 feet. Look at this wiggly, wavy jet stream. It's wild. So it goes down here, up here, down here, up here. And when you get a wavy jet stream, you're going to get some storms from time to time. And some when the jet stream goes up like that in this hump right here, you're going to get a warm up. When it dives down like that, you're going to get a cool spell. So that's why I've been talking about, the last couple of weeks of October could be a little more active with our weather and a little more roller coaster style as well. I want to take this toward the end of October and see kind of what the jet streams. Yeah, look at that. So towards the end of the month, here's the jet stream. And when you start to get this dive here, that should bring down the temperatures. So I'm going to write burr. So maybe late month, we will see that jet stream take a dive. And around that time, we will look at the temperatures here in just a second. Want to look through next week and time out a few more rain chances before we get into the long range outlook. So I'm going to take this back to, we'll go to Tuesday the 21st. And the Euro and the GFS differ a little bit on the timing of the rainfall for next week. But a little more of an active weather pattern here for us. So Tuesday right now looking mainly dry across the area. Zipping along here to our Wednesday, the 22nd, showing maybe a chance of rain coming in with another front. So perhaps a little bit of the midweek rain chance next week with that. And then I'm going to jump ahead to, this is Thursday next week. Some active weather perhaps to our south. Maybe barely clipping Kentucky with that. If that solution holds together. This is the 24th, so this is Friday. And what I'm hoping here is that we can keep next weekend dry, but maybe a little bit on the cool side. So this is Saturday the 25th here, guys. That's my wife's birthday, but also IUS Fest. And I'm sure some other things happening around the area. Showing some nice 60s right there. So if this holds true, and it's been like this for the last couple of days, European weather model dry too. This weekend's half and half. Saturday's looking pretty good and warm in the 80s. Sunday's looking cool and wet. And then the following weekend, we're talking about the 25th, 26th right now, looking pretty nice and fall-like and pleasant. You want to get out there and get those pumpkins and do all the fall things, perhaps at Huber's. Looks like we're going to have some good stuff to do that. Now, let's zoom way out and look for the next chilly air mass dropping in from Canada, shall we? So we're going to jump ahead in time here. I'm going to the 26th afternoon. This is Sunday. Now I'm going to jump ahead to the 25th. No, I'm sorry, the 27th. So this would be Monday, not this coming Monday. We're a couple Mondays out. And now I'm jumping ahead to the 28th. Looks like we're on the mild side, kind of a Pacific flow. And since we're now getting into the long range, can't forget this. We're in the long range outlook here. All right, so this is the 29th. I'm not seeing any scary cold trying to drop in from Canada just yet. This is the 30th. So getting toward Halloween, 30th afternoon, perhaps looking a little bit chillier there. That'd be kind of right on time. I feel like it's right around Halloween. We start to get some of those chillier fronts to move into the area. And then we're at the very limits of the 384 hours out with the GFS weather model here. And I'm still not seeing many 30s popping up for the rest of this month. So, all in all, I would say October is behaving for us. We're not seeing any crazy cold. There is some really cold air locked up to the north here. And eventually it will want to leave the North Pole and northern Canada. So there is cold air building up there. And eventually that cold air has kind of a feedback system where it gets colder and colder, and then it needs to just expand and drop south. So whenever that does drop south, we are going to have a reality check. And perhaps that'll be in November. But for now, the jet stream is keeping that locked up to the north. So let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day outlook, and then the 8 to 14 day outlook. And so what we have here over the 6 to 10 day outlook is a trough out west. So chillier temperatures here, more of a ridge over the east. So warmer temperatures overall. So we're continuing for the most part an above normal weather pattern for the 6 to 10 day outlook. Although Sunday, Monday are going to be on the cooler side with temperatures in the 60s. Let me get rid of that and bring up the 8 to 14 day outlook. And it is showing the better chances of above normal temperatures here through the next couple of weeks. And that is kind of because we have an overall Pacific flow instead of a polar flow. And that would promote overall above normal temperatures. But our average highs are going to be dropping into the 60s here very soon. So that means even if we were above normal in the 70s, it's not going to feel really too bad. Now, a look at severe weather. If you want to go storm chasing, the severe weather risk for today is out west, and it's only 1 out of 5 there over the Rockies, actually. And then as I go to day 2, severe weather risk from the Storm Prediction Center, their one big job is to look across the United States and see where severe weather might happen. Very low risk of any severe weather for tomorrow. Day 3. So now we're heading into Friday. 1 out of 5 risk out in western Missouri and into the Great Plains. Day 4 would be our Saturday, and it shows a risk of severe weather out to our west, western Kentucky, out to Missouri, Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Mississippi. And then at day 5, nothing happened in day 5. So again, as we're tracking, it looks like with the front that'll move through Saturday night into Sunday morning, I don't see the ingredients for severe weather. I think we'll have some garden variety thunderstorms for the most part, although there's going to be some strong winds. There's a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere. If we get some of those winds to get down to the ground, we might have some, isolated damaging wind gusts, but the severe weather threat is looking very low for our area as that front moves through on Saturday. And it looks like we're talking about maybe we can bring up the total precipitation. We're looking at maybe around, is this the right one here? Oh, I need rainfall total. There we go. Half inch to an inch of rainfall. So let me go to, let's go to the model here. And I'm going to take this through Sunday, the 19th. We'll just stop it at 5 p.m. when that rain stops. And so this is showing you got an inch there, you got an inch there, you got a half inch here, less than a half inch there, heavier amounts out to the west. So anywhere from about a half inch to an inch and a half is the rainfall totals here for our weekend, which most of that's going to be overnight Saturday and into Sunday morning. It's kind of the time frame right now for that. Okay, that has been Ben on a Limb. Lillian Lasley with Have a Great Day. Thanks for watching, Lillian. One last happy birthday to Orlean Whitlow. And Perry Porter says, hopefully no hurricanes close by. There are absolutely not any hurricanes close by. We can bring that back up here for you, Perry. There's the lonely Lorenzo out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Way, way out there. Oops, let me bring it up so you can see it. So we're here, the United States, and then here's the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It is not going to be bothering anybody. So we're past the peak of hurricane season, and so that is the good news for us. All right, we'll do a recap of the forecast. So Kendall Boyd popping in a little bit late. Kendall, we will have, it looks like the rain chance late Saturday night. So I think a lot of Saturday is going to be dry and warm in the 80s. And then some lingering showers Sunday with temperatures dropping into the 60s. There could be about a 20-degree drop in temperatures from Saturday to Sunday. But most of your Saturday's looking dry, and then Sunday cooler and wet. So, again, we'll bring up that forecast here as we bring it back up. Let's do the forecast recap, guys. So weather headlines here for your October the 15th, 70s and sunshine through Friday, 80s on Saturday, rain and storms late Saturday night, most likely, and then cooler rain showers on Sunday. Your play ball forecast 72 at noon, 76 this afternoon, and then upper 60s as we head towards evening time, and just the northeast wind at 5 to 10. I think we will see some high clouds drifting over us later this morning and into the afternoon, but it's associated with a dry front, so no big deal with that. And I can show you that radar and satellite once again here. So take a look at the rad sat. You can see those clouds associated with this dry front to our north. So we'll likely see some of these high clouds drifting over us a little bit later today. All right, we'll bring the forecast back up here. Our countdown continues. We've been doing this a long time. 4 days until average highs in the 60s. Time change in 18 days, 5:42 p.m. sunsets. Christian, there could be a couple strong thunderstorms, but I think the severe weather threat's going to be very low, as I mentioned earlier. Time change in 18 days. Average first flurries in about a month, and Thanksgiving in 43 days. We had a bunch of weather history. I'm going to, again, put this on Facebook right around noon today if you want to take a longer look at that. And our weather jokes. Oh, I'm going to watch. These are more embarrassing because I actually made them up. I'm going to let you watch the replay when I did these earlier because I can't bear them again. They weren't that great. Here's your forecast today, Wednesday, October 15th, high of 76 degrees, sunny and mild. Keep enjoying it. Get outside and get a walk in. I finally got a run in. I ran about 3 miles yesterday, and then I played tennis with my son yesterday evening, and boy, are my legs tired today. 51 our low for tonight, free AC at nighttime, and we'll roll on with more sunshine tomorrow, 66 at noon, 71 tomorrow afternoon. Normal high is 71, normal low is 50. Our sunrise at 7:53, sunset at 7:03, and the 7-day forecast here for you, 70s and sunshine through Friday. I think we'll pop into the 80s Saturday afternoon ahead of that cold front. That'll bring us in the showers and thunderstorms late Saturday night, and then some leftover light rain showers at times Sunday. Nearly a 20-degree drop in temperatures from Saturday to Sunday. Saturday, your pick day to be outside right now. We will continue to fine-tune that timing as we get closer. It'll be interesting to see the high resolution weather models as we get within 48 hours of that front. And then cooler as we head into next week, 60s on Monday, lows in the 40s, upper 60s, low 70s, kind of where temperature should be. Maybe a little rain chance by the middle of next week as well. As always, we've got lots to talk about. We've been going on for 50 minutes here. And if you're just coming in a little bit later and want to watch the replay as well, we had Brad Weddington Custom Homes. Always an interesting conversation with him, so you can check that out. Let me bring back up a beautiful look outside here with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Nothing but blue skies out there, and I think we're probably going to say the same thing as we look outside with our New Albany camera here in uptown New Albany at the corner of Vincennes and Market. Nothing but sunshine there as well. The fall foliage map as well, if you missed that, it is loading up right here. This is explorefall.com, and it's got reports of fall colors, all the fun stuff. If you're a leaf peeper, you want to go take a trip around the countryside. Right now, it's low color, maybe a little bit of moderate color, and then the full color is off to the north and northwest, typically late October, early November for our peak fall colors. Want to remind you, and I want to thank our partners too, that if you want help with your roof, you want to get it checked out, you see some messed up shingles or or whatever, you can always give Lyons Roofing a shout, Lyons, family owned, right out of Memphis, Indiana. You can call them 812-294-3595. Free estimates here online. I'm scrolling live on their webpage right here. You can see they got commercial roof, residential roof. They can help you with financials, serving customers here in Louisville, Kentucky, in southern Indiana. And you can see some of their, and if you go to their Facebook page, you can see some drone shots and all that fun stuff as well. All right. You may have to work hand in hand with your insurance company. Here is Michael Long's page at amfam.com. Search Michael Long. He's my insurance agent. We're hoping to go hit some golf balls later on today. 812-578-3072. Tell him that I sent you. They've had price reductions with their auto renewals, which I have seen as well. And you can level up your career here at Ivy Tech. Ivy Tech Sellersburg. Again, live on their page. You can see all the things that they have to offer online at ivytech.edu, and then go to locations, go to Sellersburg, their campus there nestled at Highway 311 and I-65, 9 miles north of Louisville. And you can see all the programs that they have to offer to you. They've got the Trunk or Treat Fest. Mark it on your calendar, October 30th, a big event up there at their campus where you can check it out, have a good time as well. So there you go. You can also sign up for Tuesdays at the Tech to learn more with one-on-one information right there at their campus. And a shout out to our friends out at Libs Paving, the largest paving contractor around our region, family owned, out of the Knobs. Scrolling down here, their careers section, they may still have some opportunities for you if you want to apply there. If you know a family member, a friend, grandchild, child that needs an opportunity, maybe reach out to them. Reminder, too, you can get all your weather resources here at extolmag.com. We've got our live stream up. We've got your current conditions, your 3-day forecast, 7-day forecast, and more. The interactive radar, we can plop on the temperatures here, showing temps now making their way into the 60s. We have a light breeze coming in from the northeast today. Expanding out our view here, popping on some of the rain there, and a few lightning strikes out to the west. So that's, again, a reminder, you can always catch us online. Several different platforms you can watch the live show. Right there on extolmag.com/weather. Extol Media on YouTube. Extol Weather on YouTube. Did I just say that? And Meteorologist Ben Peine on my Facebook page. Thank you guys so much for watching here this morning. Tomorrow, Friday, we'll start to get into the higher resolution weather model data to really start to fine-tune our weekend rain chances more and more. I want to thank Brad Weddington for being on the show today. Again, we'll put some clips of him on our social media pages. And if you want to watch the replay, watch that interview with Brad. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for dropping in the comments as well. Have a good Wednesday. Happy hump day. Enjoy the sunshine, and we'll see you later.